Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Indra Rizky Fadila and I am from Bina Sarana Informatika University. Today, I want to share my talk about smoking in campus area. The campus is essentially a place for learning, growth, and intellectual development. The presence of cigarette smoke clearly breaks our focus and spoils the good environment for studying. Simply put, my opinion is that smoking on campus is completely unacceptable. This activity must be eliminated from all main campus facilities. First, looking at the health side, the danger of cigarette smoke is massive. It includes the risk of chronic diseases like lung cancer, heart disease, and stroke. Even our lecturers, staff, and students who don't smoke are getting hurt by this smoke. Smoking is bad, not just for active smokers, but also for passive smokers. The smoking habit negatively affects how your brain works and decrease productivity. This isn't just a small discomfort. It is an act that destroys our small environment and steals the right of non-smokers to breathe clean air in a safe study area. Our right to clean air is simply much bigger than one person is right to smoke in a public space. Beyond that, the reputation of our university in the eyes of the public get damaged. The effect of all of us, the lecturers, the staff, and the students, just because of the action of a few people, this can start a domino effect that will have a big impact on the future. Simply, giving a ban is not enough. We need fair solutions, like putting penalties in place for anyone caught smoking on campus. These penalties should start from a simple verbal warning, then move to a fine, and finally, an official warning letter. We also need to put up clear no smoking signs or stickers at every entrance, gathering area, and other key spots. And importantly, we must hold mandatory info sessions about the danger of smoking and our campus rules. We all need to team up to make our university a true smoke free campus. This is not just about rules, it is about our shared healthy. I am Indra Rizky Fadila. That is my opinion. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fasidun Ramadanu, and I'm from class 15806, and I'm here to tell about my opinion of smoking near campus area. First of all, I think smoking near campus area, it's not good, and I want to explain why. Many students don't smoke, but they still have to breathe in the smoke when they walk near the smoker. It can make people sick, even if they don't smoke. It's not fair to students who care about more their health. Campus is a clean and safe place to study, place that we grow, learning, and socialize, meet other students, make friends, and everything else. When people smoke near the area, the air becomes dirty. It smells bad, and it can make students feel very uncomfortable. Imagine you trying to do study while breathing in the smoke. Also, some students are interested in smoking. They might think it's cool, it's it's normal, it's very interesting to them. Some may try it because their friends do it. But the thing is, smoking is very harmful. It can cause a lung problem, heart disease, and even cancer. Once someone starts smoke, it cannot be stopped. It's very hard. When you enjoy something that you like, you cannot let go. Just like you play video games, you're addicted. You enjoy it. You can't let go. And it goes over and over again until it becomes a bad habit. That's what smokers do. And some people might say, but it is my choice. It's my choice to smoke. It's not your decide what I'm doing. Yes, that's true. People have a right to do. People have rights to choice, and people, it's, uh, it's, it's, they do what they want. But we also have a responsibility to care about others. For me, every single campus should at least have a smoke free zone area. That means no smoking near the gates, classroom, or places where students hang out. There, there can be a sign to remind people, or maybe there should be a penalty for people who smoke in the campus area. And I think that could help to reduce smokers having smoke in the campus area. So I just want that a smoker at least respect what we do in the campus. Campus is not what campus is an open area, but it's not just to like free to smoke. There's a smoke area that should be available, and I hope that people who smoke know their situation to smoke and didn't disrupt other people. And I think that's all. I think that's all about my opinion about smoking in the campus. And I just want to say to people that didn't smoke, keep healthy and stay safe. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Hussein Arik Jaim. I'm from Kampung Pulau Kambing. I'm student University Bina Sarana Informatika Kalimalang. Salam kebajikan, salam PSSI, salam Indonesia, dan salam untuk warga Indonesia semua. My opinions, Indonesia versus Bahrain, a great win. Good morning everyone, today I want to talk about a football match. This match was Indonesia versus Bahrain. It was very important for Indonesia. We all know the score. Indonesia won 1-0. But in my opinions, this win was more than just us. This win was more than just a score. It was very special. It saw a big change. First, let's talk about the spirits. In the past, maybe your team was a little scared, but in the match, no. I saw 11 players. They were brave, very brave. They were not scared. They were strong. They ran for every ball. They fought for 9 minutes. This new spirit is the real wish for me. Second, let's talk about the plans. The goal we scored is what's not luck. It was a very good plan, a smart plan. Your team did not hurry. They were patient. They waited for the good moments. They worked together. It was a beautiful team goal. And third, the defense. After we scored, our defense was amazing. It was a wall very, very strong. Bahrain tried to attack against, but they could not pass. Our players were very focused. This 1-0 win shows we control the games. So to finish my speech, this 1-0 win was not just a game, this was a message. A message to all of Asia. Indonesia is strong now. We are not a small team anymore. We are a team is brave, smart, and strong. I am very proud of this team. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Disal Fijibrani, a student from Bina Sarana Informatika University, majoring in Informatics, class 15 1A06. Today, I like to discuss one of most ambitious and must talk about policies of our new president, Mr. Prabowo program, the Free Nutritious Food Program. My opinion on this complex, on one hand, I believe this program comes from a place of deep compassion. But on the other hand, it represents one of the most difficult challenges Indonesia has ever tried to solve. First, let's talk about the dare of this program. Why do you even need it? To know this country as rich as ours, millions of children still suffer from malnutrition. The problem of stunting, where children are too short for their age due to poor nutrition, is a serious national issue. We must sympathize with the daily struggle of so many families who find it difficult to provide nutritious food every single day. When a child goes to school hungry, they cannot focus, they cannot learn, their future potential is kept before it even begins. So, when the government proposes a program to give these children one guaranteed healthy meal every day, it is difficult not be moved by that mission. It invests in our people. It's a statement that says every child's future matters. It's easy to understand that people. This program gives to millions of parents. However, this is where the noble idea meets every hard reality. This is the part of the program that makes me worried. First, the cost this program estimated to cost hundreds of trillion rupiah every year. That is a massive amount of money. One can only imagine the incredible difficult that must be happening right now. Where do this money come from? Do we cut the budget for building roads? Do we reduce subsidy for fuel? Do we take on more national debt? I have sympathies with the difficulty of the choice. Every option has a negative consequence for someone. It's treble-branching art. But the money is only a part of the challenge. The other part is logistic. Indonesia, a nation of 7,000 islands. We are not small compact country. It almost overwhelming to think about the logistic. How do you deliver fresh, safe, and nutritious for every single school in every village in remote area every single day without fail? How do you make sure the food in Papua the same quality food in Jakarta? How do you prevent the food from spoiling? And then we must talk about corruption. Program this big with so much money involved in food punishment is a huge target for corruption. We must sympathize with the challenge of building system that is transparent and clean to make sure this food actually reaches children mouths and isn't stolen. I also feel for the teacher and school staff. Will they be given the extra burden of managing this program on top of their duty to teach? We need to think about them too. So, to conclude my opinion, the free nutritious meal program is beautiful, ambitious, and empathic idea. I try to solve one of the best problem. The free but good intention are not enough. My opinion on this program success will depend 100% on its execution. It needs perfect planning, realistic budgeting, and ironclad system to prevent corruption. It's a noble dream, but making a noble reality will be the true test of this government capability and integrity. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo everyone, my name is Muhammad Rasya Haskia, kelas 15 1A 06, NIM 15250468. Hi everyone, today I want to share my opinion about the World Cup qualified match between Indonesia and Bahrain. The final score was 2-all, but I think Indonesia should have won the game. Indonesia played really well. The players showed getting spirit, strong defense, and smart teamwork. They worked hard from the first minutes until the last. When Indonesia scored the second goal, I was too happy. It felt like we finally got to win. But then something happened. The saying everything. The river Ahmed Arkan from Oman gave the mud extra time is subverted the double only 6 minutes, but the match on the only after 99 minutes. That was crazy, and because of the extra time, Bahrain second the second goal. For me, that was really unfair. It felt like the referee in Bahrain. Many fans were angry from the totally in the same way. Indonesia fought so hard on the destination to win, but this because of on bad destination of lost to and for a point. I also saw many stake for catch was of the win against Indonesia and it didn't lose far at all. I think the referee was not letting in the match. The PSSI already made in protest to FIFA and FC, and I completely agree with that. I hope we're really infiltrating the match. Westcom is killing the intention of happen again. In my opinion, Indonesia deserved the victory at referee deserved for a fan on Dennis what could have been in victory win. I am still proud of the Indonesia team. The player win the Earthon never give up. That may opinion about the Indonesia versus Bahrain match. Thank you for listening and let's keep supporting of national team Indonesia.
Hello everyone, my name is Indra Rizky Fadilah. I am from class 151A06 and I will now be explaining the topic about adverb of frequency. Okay, let's begin the explanation now. First, what is adverb of frequency? Adverb of frequency is a word that is used to show how often an activity or event happens. These adverbs are used to answer the question how often. In addition, they are also used in sentence to give more information about the frequency of an action. There are two types of adverb of frequency: the adverb of indefinite frequency and the adverb of definite frequency. First, I will explain the adverb of indefinite frequency. This type does not indicate a specific time, but only provide a general idea of how often an activity or action take place and is performed. Words that belong to this type are usually used to describe habits or routines without mentioning a specific time. An example sentence is she always smiled. Generally, the frequency of these adverbs can be estimated using percentage, which are divided into 5 categories or levels. The first category is 100%. This indicates an activity happens every time, without exception. The adverb of frequency include always, every time, and constantly. The second category is around 70%. When an action or activity occurs most of the time, but not always, we use the adverb usually, often, normally, frequently, and regularly. The third category is 50%. To express an activity that only happens about 50% of the time. The adverbs that can be used is sometimes and occasionally. The fourth category is about 20%. This adverb describe event that happens very rarely or almost never. The simple examples are rarely and hardly ever. The fifth category is 0%. This describe an action or event that happens absolutely never. The main adverb used here is never. Unlike the previous type, this kind indicate a more specific time of or frequency. Adverbs of definite frequency are used to state how often an activity is done with a clear time frame, such as every day, once a week, or 3 times a year. This word provide more measurable and concrete information, allowing the listener or reader to understand exactly how often an activity or action is performed. An example sentence is we meet every Saturday at the library. Some of the common adverbs used in this category include the first one, definite frequency use the word every to show a regular pattern that occurs at fixed time intervals. Example include every day, every week, every month, and every year. That the word every must be followed by a specific unit of time to indicate an event that happens periodically and regularly. The second one is numerical frequency, which use adverb of numerical frequency such as once, twice, three times, and so on. This word provides specific information about how many times an event occurs within a certain period of time. The third one is specific time frequency. To explain routine frequency is a more specific way. There are adverbs of frequency that you can use, such as hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly or annually. There are three positions for the adverb of frequency in a sentence, which are the position is before the main verb. This is the most common position for indefinite adverbs like usually, often, and never. The structure is subject plus adverb plus main verb. And the example is I always drink coffee in the morning. The second one is after the verb to be. When the main verb is a form of to be, am, is, are, was, were, the adverb comes after it. The structure is subject plus to be plus adverb. And the example is he is always late for class. The last one is at the beginning or end of the sentence. This position is typically used for adverbs of definite frequency or when the speakers want to emphasize the frequency. There are two structures. The first is for adverb before the sentence, and the second is for the adverb after the sentence. The first example is sometimes I go jogging in the evening, and the second example is we clean the house once a week. That is the explanation about adverb of frequency in a sentence. We can sum up that an adverb of frequency is a word or phrase that show how often an action happens, such as rarely, often, always, never, or during a specific period. Okay, that is for my explanation about adverb of frequency. Thank you for listening until the end. That will be all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Pasha Duenak Ramadanu. I'm from class 151806 and I'm here to present about modal auxiliary words. Let's get started. Okay, first of all, I'd like to explain it. What is modal auxiliary? So, a modal auxiliary or a modal verb is a type of auxiliary or helping verb that is used with the main verb to express ideas like possibility, necessity, ability, or permission. Common example include can't, can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, and would. This verb modify the meaning of the main verb and do not change from the indicate tense or person. Let's get to the next one. Okay, for example, of auxiliary modals. Modals word can, could, may, might, shall, and will. Let's get to the next one. Okay, first, can. Can used to express someone's ability. For example, she can sing beautifully. Or Bran can ride a bike. Or Rusty can speak Germany. Let's get to the next one. Okay, next one is could. Could used to express ability in the past or as a polite request. For example, could you please pass me the book? Or could you help me fix my laptop? Let's get to the next one. May. May used to express permission or possibility. For example, may I use your phone? Or you can use, may I borrow your pen? Or there's a lot. You can use it very often. Like may I use your bathroom? Or may I borrow your hat? There's a lot. Let's get to the next one. Might. So may and might is the same. Same as might. Sentence might used to express a weaker possibility or a more polite request. For example, it might rain later. Or they might arrive late due to the traffic. Let's get to the next one. Alright, so next one is shall. Shall used to express suggestion or question about joint decision. For example, shall we go to the park? Or what shall I wear to the party? Or in another, there's a lot. So this model actually has a lot. So we use like very often. Like what shall I do this weekend? What shall I do when in college or something else? Let's get to the next one. Will. So will. It's used in the sentence to express the possibility of something happening in the future, or willingness to do something. For example, I think it will rain tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll have a very hot sun. I will be 17 next year. I will be strong if I go to the gym. I will be smart if I study hard. I will become programmer if I keep coding or keep practicing. There's a lot. Let's get to the next one. Alright, so that's it for me, and I just want to say that this was a very often word that we use all every day, and for me that I think it's a very easy word that we could understand it by ourselves, and I think that's all about my presentation. So last but not least, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Husen Arik Jaim. You can call me Husen. I from Kampung Pulau Kambing. I study from Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika. Simple present tense. Function of simple present. First, to express daily activities. Second, to express facts or general truths. Third, to express schedules. Simple present tense, when the subject is plural, that's mean I, you, we, or they, the main verb stay in its best form. We call that verb once. We do not add is or is. Example, I play football every day. The subject I is one person, but in English grammar we ask the best verb without s. So we say I play, not I plays. Simple present tense when the subject is singular, that's mean on person or one thing. Like he, she, it, or a singular noun, we add is or is to the verb in positive sentence. Example: his brother likes pizza. Because the subject is singular, the verb needs to have is. We add is to like, so add becomes likes. When to add is or is in simple present tense. Most verb just add is if the verb ends with a normal letter, just add is. Example: play becomes plays, word becomes words, verb ending with is, sh, ch, h, or o. Add is because it easier to pronounce. Example: go becomes goes, was becomes washes, watch becomes watches. Positive sentence formula: subject add verb once, add is or is, add objects. He eats breakfast at 6 o'clock. He as subject, eats as verb 1, add is. Breakfast at 6 o'clock as object. Negative sentence: subject add do or does, add not, add verb once, add objects. Example: he as subject, does not as does, is verb 1, reads for dinner as object. He does not is reads for dinner. Interrogative question: do or does as subject, add verb 1, add example: do you like pizza? Does she study English? Example: does he eat breakfast at 6 o'clock? Does as does, he as subject, eats as verb 1, breakfast at 6 o'clock as object. This is your simple present tense practice. He football every weekends. A play, B plays, C playing, D plays. Answer: B plays. Explanation: subject he is singular, so we add is to play. Full sentence: he plays football every weekend. My mother breakfast at 7 a.m. A eats, B eats, C eating, D eaten. Explanations: subject my mother, she singular, so at is. Answer: B eats. Full sentence: my mother eats breakfast at 7 a.m. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello guys, and welcome to our Retro Gaming World presentation. My name is Tisal Fibrani. I'm from Bina Sarana Informatika University, majoring in Informatik, class 15 1A06. Here, I will give you basic English material. It's learning that is easy to understand and also fun for all of you. Okay, without further ado, just check it out. Today, we are going fully explore the present continuous tense. I hope you are ready to level up your English grammar today. So, let's start the game. So, the big question is, what is present continuous tense? Present continuous tense is a verb from in English that is used to express action that are taking place at the moment or at a certain period of time. In simple words, if an action happening right now, we use this tense. For example, I am studying English. Brother is playing a game. You are listening to music. These are all actions happening currently. Next, let's look at the basic formula for positive tense. It's easy. Subject plus to be plus verb ing. Remember, to be is depend on the subject. This is where many people make mistake. For the example, subject I used to be am. Subject you Dewi used to be are. Subject he, she, it used to be is. Memorize the spelling to win the game. Okay. Next. Let's see the example positive tense. For subject I am studying English. Subject I to be am, verb ing studying. Okay, I am studying English. I am cooking ramen noodle. I am playing a game. I am watching a movie. I am listening to music. I am dating with my girlfriend. We are stating action happening now. Next. For subject you Dewi, we have you are singing my favorite song. Subject you to be are, verb ing singing. You are singing my favorite song. You are eating fried chicken. For subject they are working on a new project. Subject they to be are, verb ing working. They are working on new project. They are going to the cinema. For subject we are planning our next trip. Subject we to be are and verb ing planning. We are planning our next trip. We are looking for the 7 Dragon Ball. Wow. Okay. Next. And finally, for subject he, she, it. For he is repairing his motorbike. Subject he to be is, verb ing repairing. He is repairing his motorbike. He is finishing his assignment. For subject she is planting flower. Subject she to be is, verb ing planting. She is planting flower. She is having dinner. Wow. For subject it, the cat is sleeping on the sofa. Subject the cat to be is, verb ing sleeping. The cat is sleeping on the sofa. Then is carrying a sword. Nah, subject Zen, to be is verb in carrying. Zen is carrying a sword. Nah, this Zen. Hello Zen. Next, to switch to negative tense, it's super easy. We just add not after the to be. Okay, the full formula is subject plus to be plus not plus verb in. Remember, on the to be, to be is still depend on the subject. Okay, memorize. Okay, is not become isn't, and are not becomes aren't in casual talk. The structure is essential to express what is not happening. Okay, next. Let's check the negative example for subject I. I am not working on weekend anymore. I am not scrolling on TikTok right now. I am not posting anything today. I am not watching the live streaming tonight. I am not following that influencer trend. I am not playing game online this week. Okay, next. For subject you Dewi, you are not studying for the test. You are not doing your homework. They are not taking the online course seriously. They are not canceling the music festival yet. We are not creating cringe content anymore. We are not discussing that new Korean drama. Okay, next. For subject he, she, it. For subject he is not joining the team meeting today. He is not taking the online class this semester. She is not looking at you. She is not wearing the shoes I gave her. For subject C, For subject it, Bob is not looking for a new job. It is not snowing her. Okay, next. Our last formula is the interrogative or question word. This is the fun part. We swap position to be moved to the start of the sentence, followed by the subject, then verb in. Remember, to be is depend on the subject. Am, is, or are goes first. Next, let's ask some question for subject I. Am I making sense right now? Am I bothering you now? Am I looking good in this jacket? Am I talking too loud? Am I drinking beer? Am I cooking too much? Jadi to be first, next subject. Okay, next. For subject you Dewi, Now, for subject you, Devi, example, are you waiting for the bus? For the bus. Are you feeling better now? Are they having lunch at the new cafe? Are they coming to the hangout tonight? Are we meeting up this Saturday? Are we forgetting anything important? Next, for subject he see it, is he planning to start his own business? Is he waiting for use outside? Is he looking at me? Is he thinking about me? Is it raining outside right now? Is it getting colder outside? Okay, next. A quick tip, if the subject is more than one person, such as Budi and Sarah, or more than one object, such as cars, it is included in the group day. Okay, so we are we use our Budi and Sarah. Budi and Sarah are studying together. My parents are not traveling to Bali this week. Are the children playing in the park? The cars are blocking the road. Okay, we have reached the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for watching and participating. I hope you all learned something great today. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Rasya Askia, kelas 15, 1A, 06, 6. NIM 152504 68. What is a quotation? In this lesson, we will be learning about quotation words. Quotation words are used to ask about things we want to know and also to gather information. We will learn 6 quotation words based on example for X1. 5 of them were start with the question: what, watch, when, where, why, how. How. Whoa. Whoa. What is said to ask about a person for people? What was said to ask about a thing, action, or event? When you said to ask about them, where you said to ask about place or location, why you said to ask about duration or place, how you said to ask about the minute how said to ask about the minute way or reason. Who is you teacher? What are you reading? When is your birthday? Where where do you live? How do you go to school? Do you know what common are the end of a sentence that was a question words? That right is not a question mark at the end. Let's learn of less question words. Wow, is your best friend? My best friend is Indra, Disha, Pasha, Sen. What is your favorite animal? Yes, cat favorite animal. When is your birthday? Yes, my 2007. Where do you live? Yes, I live in Indonesia. Why do you like summer? No, I don't like summer. How old are you? Oh, yes. No, I am still you at 19. Will you have made a slim with the same lot? Thank you.